Then played there that night. And they come up there. We had this brass gun there, a bit shorter, that Hoppendale gave us. And you shoot this right, you put the cartridge in just like a shotgun.
Yeah.
And these fellows from High Falls, they had the muzzle loaded. And they was trying to shoot as fast as our boys was, you know. And the damn cannon got hot. And, of course, they had the cartridges made. All they had to do was tie the end off, and then take the ramrod, and what they had around the powder acted as a rod, see?
Mm.
But this fellow took his thumb off what they call the Dutch hole. See, let air in there.
Yeah.
And when he shoved that, he had to hold it like that. See?
Yeah.
When he shoved that ramrod down there was air in there. They touched the powder off, and that ramrod went off, took these fingers all off, took the meat all off of this hand, broke his arm here, and they sold that ramrod Gamblers first mill.
Was that a couple hundred yards, Mark?
Yeah. I was there. This fellow had on two winter shirts, and then he had on a red kind of a flannel shirt, uniform that come with the gun squad, you know. And his vest was just as black as that stove. Powder went right through.
Yeah.
You know, put his eyes out, let his hands off. And the operative down right there, the new Grover's dining room on the table. And Doc Stern from Rumdout, they went down and got him. And these times they put him there and taken him to the hospital, you know. But they went down and got Stern, and he come up there. Well, he Grover, he tried to hold the chloroform. And two or three of them, and made him sick. And he said to me, I was 17. He said, Mark, how was your stomach? I said, pretty good. And he said, well, try it. So I took the bowl, see, and put it right over, and the doctor would even motion to his when to take it off, see. So I stayed there till the job was done. Whipped her up here, skinned this back, sawed right off there and put that down over, put out of the foam in there and soaked up and got your his hands as well.
Well, when they saw it, was the bones hard, Mark?
Hard, just like ivory. I can hear that saw yet. True as I tell it. And put both eyes out.
I better kill him. What became of him, Mark?
Well, he was collector for the town of Marble Town, I guess, for 25 or 30 years. He ain't been dead too long.
Well, that's a very interesting story, I'm sure, Mark.
Yeah.
To be recorded.
Yeah.
Something nowadays people wouldn't know anything about it. He's driving a fast car with the old
and, you know, he laid there on the table after they took him in, and he recognized the boys by their voices.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, Mark's telling about operating the home that way. I know one of the neighbors' girl was operated on. She had appendicitis. They operated on the kitchen table, and they'd use the lamps that they had in the house.
Yeah, kerosene lamps.
And the father, he was, well, very upset about it. He says to Dr. Kimball, he says, Doctor, if you save my girl, I won't mind paying you. He said, Kimball says to him, God damn it, he says, you'll pay me whether she lives or dies.
He's a great doctor, he was a good one too.
Yeah.
He come up, he operated on my first wife. She had peritonitis. If your appendix bursts, it's peritonitis.
And they lose quite a few of them.
Oh. Well, we didn't have time to get to the hospital, so they got to operate on here. I was there now. Well, he got off the train up here, the brothers come up on the train. There was a nigger family lived down there, and they had a girl there. She had legs about so long, but her body was full,
Yeah.
you know. And there'd been some shine hanging around down there. So she was going to have a kid. So they called in Kimball. And, well, he said, after operation, she couldn't have it. She walked just like a duck. Her legs wasn't only about that long.
Yeah, about 2 foot, about 2 foot legs on a normal body. Yeah.
With that fellow right there.
Yeah.
Not Oliver's girl.
I remember.
So he operated on to her, but he didn't bother to sew her up. He took the youngster out of his side.
Yeah.
The first operation around this country. The first one.
Yeah.
That they operated like that. He come down to the house and operated on the wife same day.
But you said he didn't bother sewing her up.
No, he says she won't live. I didn't bother to sew her up. He said, I just closed it up, he said, and put a bandage down.
Yeah.
So he come down, operated on my wife. And in about 3 days, he come up and he went and looked at her and sewed her up. 3 or 4 days. The guy, he says she's going to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so he didn't sew my wife up for 21 days.
Well, of course, that's something new to me. You didn't sew them up, of course. Today they stitch you up right away.
Yeah. Well, he didn't sew my wife up for 21 days. She had kind of a fleshy stomach.
Yeah.
And we had to wash her out every day. 2 quarts of water on that. There's a crooked tube there he put down in. Well, she was cut more than halfway around.
Yeah.
And this crooked tube you put down in there, and I guess 4 quarts of water went in there.
Yeah.
Of course, you were laid in a rubber blanket.
Yeah.
And in 21 days, that pressure on his stomach was about 1.5 inches or more, and that was all healed over.
Yeah.
So, right there when he sewed her up, he had to take a lance and had a gauge on it and scar that, you know, so it could go together. See, that's fine.
But that was kind of rugged to go through any operation like that when you think of what they do
So
today.
who did the wrenching it out every day?
Huh?
Who did the wrenching it out every day with the string? You?
Well, for the last 2 weeks, I did. Yeah.
Oh, you was mentioning a pulp mill down along the East Upper down here earlier.
Yeah.
I have a picture shows the wood. It doesn't show nothing of the mill. Or was that quite a big mill that exists down there?
That's quite a good sized mill, yeah. Yes, they used to grind up a lot of pulp there. And, well, it belonged to E.I. DuPont.
Yeah. Well, what did they do? Send the pulp out, or did they make paper there right away?
No, they baled it up in bales, like bales of hay, and shipped it and make dynamite out of it.
How many men did they employ, Mark?
Oh, I should say about a dozen.
That was at the mill, and of course it had to be fellows up in the woods cutting the wood.
Oh, well, all the farmers around you could draw the wood there, they'd buy it off you. 3.5 per cord.
That's the way most of the farmers got their money to pay the taxes. About all the money they got through the year was what they got pulp out.
Yeah.
In 1903, that mill was run down there, and they had a whole pile of wood there, but the farmers would draw it in and take the bark off, see? So these men, they had to working on the yard there with draw knives, you know, skin the bark
off,
$1 a day. That's 1903.
That was 10 cents an hour, about 10 cents an hour.
Yeah.
They worked 10-hour days.
Yeah. About 10 cents an hour.
On the railroad.
Yes. Jay Johnson, he'd run through $40,000. And he was down and out, you know. Hey, I had him working for me. Some doing some work at, like putting new roofs on houses and like that time. Well, he spent the money, about $40,000. So he goes over to Faulkner when he gets a job because his friend of his there was superintendent.
Is Brian?
Well, Frank.
Frankfurt.
And what do you call him was the boss of the mill.
Miller?
No. He lived down across from Jim Hughes. Oh, I can say. Fred, so anyway, they, Fred Hill.
Fred Hill knew the name. I can think of it.
Well, they paid $1 a day down there. Yeah.
How many teams did they have? They had the barn there, a couple of teams, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a couple of teams, and there's one man there, he worked for them the year round. He owned his own horses. And he worked there. Had one eye. What the hell was his name? He lives down that road that comes from...
Getting back to the goose, on the goose town, do you remember how many feet of, say for instance, flag you have on a 4-horse load?
Well, I just can't
I really, this team, 4 horses I drove about 8 tons.
About 8 tons.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many feet would be on a load like that?
Well, no, I don't. Of course, it varies in thickness.
Yeah.
And,
there was different thickness flag like that.
Flag and curve.
Yeah.
And silt. And if you get a planer, that'd be...
Someone that was playing out. Yeah,
feet.
yeah, that'd be a big piece of flag.
And 8, 9
Yeah.
thick.
I'm hard talking about the time when you was a young lad and you went down, your mother sent you down to D.N.'s Master's store for something, and the freight train came in, and you got a ride on that, didn't come back for a week. Tell them about that.
Yeah, I was about 10, 11, about 11 years old, I guess. Well, it was about the time Jens was born.
Yeah.
And she sent me down after I found the children. Well, I used to be a conductor on the freight train there. He liked me.
Patsy Phillips, wasn't it?
Patsy Phillips, little fellow. And I went down and I went over to the station there, and the freight train comes down. He says, "Come on, March, you want to take a ride?" I said, "Yeah." We'd go down and back the same day, see? So I got on the caboose and went down to Rundle. And they backing some cars and they had stuff put on the night book, see? With the sidetracking these cars. I got off and I looked down the dock there and I see this big tugboat there, and there was my brother was a fireman on that boat. Tugboat that used to haul down stone barges and ice barges.
That was April, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's no refrigeration at that time, you know, it's all ice. So I went over on the dock there and I see Abel there, and he says, "We're about ready to sail for New York." He says, "We got the tow all fixed up. The little towboats that took these big barges out to Kingston Point there, you know. You want to go along?" I said, "Yes." So I get down. Took us 2 days and a half to go to New York. Then both had to walk, you know, much. So we got down there where they had the boat races.
Was that at Highland?
New York.
Oh, they had New York.
Down in New York, they had boat races 20 miles out in the ocean.
Oh. thought maybe you meant that where the road down there to Highland there one time.
No.
The colleges had the races.
Well, we went down and, well, there's two of them big tugboats side to side, and hell, we had a tow from here out to the road. They took that whistle and a little boat come out. They'd take one,
Tugboat, barge off.
one barge off, and undocked and this, and finally we didn't have only a couple, you know, and they landed them down somewhere near the over in Brooklyn, Marine Yard.
Yeah.
And we're going to have these boat races, 20 miles out in the ocean. It was Sir Lipton, what? Sir Lipton.
Yeah.
Thomas Lipton.
Yeah.
Sir Thomas Lipton. And,
Lipton Steve.
yeah, and the other one was, I forget the name of it now. Anyway.
But the American boat, the United States boat.
No, that one is English.
Yeah, I know. The Sir Lipton,
There were some lawyers. They got a hold of the Cornell Company, and they rented this big tugboat that I was on, you know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been out. But Jesus, you know, I got seasick. I vomit, you know. And they had kegs of beer piled up like that, too high, big case of ice onto them, canvas over it. Well, it got kind of rough out there, and one of them kegs come down, and that cake of ice, and he hit one of these lawyers and broke his leg. God, I was glad when we got back to New York, I tell you.
But what did the folks say? They waited so long for the sugar?
Yeah, when I come back.
How'd you come back, on the tugboat?
Yeah, I come back to that. We had a lot of empty barges and like that. And then the canal is the run that goes up to Hunkston, up through that country, you know.
Yeah, the D&H Canal.
Yeah. And they had a lot of stuff for the merchants along there.
Yeah.
Those fellows that owned them boats, some of them live on them.
Yeah.
Well, they would buy stuff for these grocery stores along the line.
Yeah.
That's the way they made money going both ways.
Yeah.
Well, how'd you get back from Rundout, Mark?
Well, I come up Rundout, come up on the, I caught taxi really quickly. I told him.
What'd you catch when you got home?
I didn't say anything. And I told him what I did.
What did they send you after, Mark?
I found sugar.
Did you bring it home?
Yeah.
He probably got another 5 pounds while he's gone, like this.
You know,
Vessels. Some of the fellows went over to the lodge, and I tell them about my mother, her grandmother. She came over from Holland back when it was sailing vessels, and they got down in this sea down there where everything stands still.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was 6 weeks, and they got all out of water, food, and everything, and they drew cuts to see who would, they was going to butcher one of them, because they was all dying, you know,
Yeah.
starving and everything. So the cut fell on her grandmother. And well, they said they'd wait till the next morning. Well, next morning they sighted another ship. So that's all that saved her grandmother.
Yeah, that's down in what they call the doldrums.
Sargasso Sea.
Yeah,
Sargasso Sea there. They got into that.
Yeah.
And it was,
Well, things stumbled up this afternoon that you just simply couldn't realize about it.
Have you been, Harry?
at an industry, they had 3 big mills over there.
The charcoal industry.
Yeah.
6 kilns they had.
6.
Yeah. Well, Marie and I were up there with
They had 3 here right by the station.
Yeah.
remember them.
They were
Remember? Yeah. Well, they always did. You remember old Charlie, what do you call him, who used to run these 3 kills here?
No.
He was just as bad as the Jericho. He don't really ever was. He had a son. Wagon. And these charcoal, but they drove the charcoal from up the house. And they had a big building, biggest, well, barn or bigger, down by the railroad there, and it stood on a kind of a little knoll, and they could, the railroad company put a switch right under that building, and then at that time they had regular cars for transporting charcoal. You could open up the top.
Yeah.
So they'd open that up and back that car in there, and this building was shaped something like a big funnel, don't you know? And they could open that and load that without touching it.
Yeah. Well, that was the help. How did they bring it on these wagons?
Well, they brought them in 3 sections, see? It was made on an angle, where it set on the...
Yeah, or the siding flared out.
Flared out, you know, and it had a bale to it.
Yeah.
And they draw it in there, and they heist it up. It was like you pick up a load of hay.
Yeah.
And put it on a track. They run it in there,
Run it in.
and pull the string the bottom back out.
It was like a big flared box.
Yeah.
You just pick the 3 boxes off one at a
No
time.
time shoveling or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked like these dump wagons did on where they built the roads.
Wasn't it Egg Mathis? Wasn't Egg Mathis the boss? Egbert Matthews?
I guess. Yeah.
Egg Mathis.
Yeah, and Kelly, he drawed this stuff. He'd make a couple 3 trips a day up there. Of course, it didn't take him long to load or unload.
Yeah.
You know, just...
Well, it must have been about 6 miles from the coal shed up to Kill, shouldn't it have been?
Well,
Every bit of it on there.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It was the same way when the stone quarry, when the Coons brothers had the quarry up the head of
Watson Hall.
Watson Hollow. That's 5 miles up there.
Well, they used to have these, of course that was commercial there, but they would put them up around the fields and build them up, stack them up with...
Cover them with clay.
And clay that way. I know there was a
Over
couple
where
of...
you live, up on the hill,
Yeah.
there used to be a fellow up there. That's the first time I ever seen him burn charcoal without a kiln.
Yeah.
You stand it up,
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
and then cover it with clay around.
Yeah. And you had to watch that it didn't break out on you.
Yeah?
But it's quite interesting because we have up in that's up on the Dutch Hill section, and they have what they call the huts up there. Now this woman that took us up there, she says she didn't know. She thought those huts were loose, nice loose stone, and she thought it was the charcoal burners that built these huts up there. There's no roof left on them or anything like that. But you say you actually saw them burning up on Dutch Hill that way?
They're just above your place.
Yeah.
Up this way.
Yeah.
There's a fellow there. I don't know if he's a German or a Polish. But at that time I was working for Phil Rasher in Glasgow in one of his stores.
Yeah.
And I see this fellow there, so I stopped and looked around how he goes.
Yeah.
You know, I got to just play around here, there, a little hole like that.
Yeah.
If it got burned too much, he'd blow up some of the clay, you know, and he'd stop it. Yeah? Oh, he burnt there all year.
Yeah.
That is all summer.
How many cord of wood, Mark, would they use to make one of these piles, charcoal piles?
It would be, I'd say, 25 cents a cord.
Was it just one tier of the cordwood?
I don't know. They set it in there endways, right on top of each other, right on the place.
Like an Indian teepee.
Get it right in.
And then they covered it up with clay.
Well, these coal kilns was here at the West Shokan there. They were fire brick.
They were fire brick, I remember.
They had vents.
Yeah.
You could put a little clay on that and stick it in there and shut that vent right off. But he watches that and thinks it's burning way too fast, but he shuts off the draft, you know.
How long did it take to burn a charcoal kiln?
I just can't tell you, but it didn't take so long. Because it worked really like in a foundry where a brass furnace. See, you started off with coke, where this people here was started off with dry wood.
Yeah.
See? When in the blast furnace, well, they started off with coke and coal.
Well, did they burn it green, the wood green, or did they season it?
Oh, take it green.
Yeah.
Mark, why was that charcoal commercially, most of it?
Well, they sell it in the city for the people starting the fires and liking it.
And then it went over to the iron foundries over in Connecticut.
Well, that's
Yeah,
right.
well, the foundries, well, they used to, I was chief engineer of the Latin Lake Shoe Company 3 years up in Bloomfield, New Jersey.
Mm.
We used to use it there for cargo.
Yeah.
They'd throw in 400 or 500 pounds of charcoal, and then some coal. Started off with wood and charcoal,
Yeah.
and throw in maybe a ton of iron, ton and a half, then some coal, and then some coke,
Yeah.
then more wood, and we load the damn thing right up. This cupola was about 14 foot in diameter
Yeah.
and about 40 feet high.
That was,
Loaded right up to the top.
Yeah.
It held about 45, 46 tons
Yeah.
of iron. Then I got the signal in the engine room, put the blower on. Then they closed all them drafts below, and I put the blower onto it. A 4-foot blower, run 2,700 a minute,
huh.
on a 16-inch pipe.
Well, did they load it continuous like they did with the cement?
Yeah.
Once they had it started, it was a continuous affair. It was loaded coke and then iron all on the top.
Yeah. They'd melt the whole thing so that the inside of the cupola would be empty.
Yeah.
When we got the last iron out, geez, I'll never forget that poor pull-up. They used to carry it in ladles, you know. See? There were 175 men there. And when they tap that cupola, that iron runs out there just like water. See? And they have a ladle, a fork shape. The man that operates it takes the two handles. And the other fellow has only just got a straight thing like that. He puts that on his knee while the other fellow tips it up and pours it into the mold.
Yeah.
This company didn't make anything, only brake shoes for railroads in this country and some across the water. And anywhere from 12 pounds up to 150. Take these big hog engines with 6-foot drive wheels. Those big shoes weighed about 150 pounds. They used to make them too. And they made the patterns right there in the foundry. Well, this fellow, he's a green. And this other guy, he was reckless. They're carrying that ladle, see? But well, this guy had on a pair of them, as old Bob used to call them, Congress gaiters.
Yeah.
With elastic up there.
Yeah.
But Jesus, that went full of that. Iron burnt that foot right off. Right back. I never quite come run. The engine room's down ground floor there, and the foundry's right in the north. Dead boom to the center. Come running past the engine room door, howling like hell. And right outside, there's a little spring brook about that wide. You run out and jump in that brook. But his buddy's foot off. They put him in there. I hear that fellow hollering.
Take her in the groceries home. For the first time, I went up there and she said, bring the groceries right in here. So I brought them in the kitchen, set them on a chair, and there's a cat laying right on my back. So I brushed the cat off, and another one comes from the other side, from another high closet or something. Then I look in the other room, and there's about 20 cats laying on an old kitchen table. There's another 10 or 15 under the table and on the floor and on the hearth of the stove. And they had evidently, she and her sister lived there alone. Evidently, they just finished having lunch. And there's two cats walking around between the sugar bowl and the old kitchen. Well, I'm telling you, that house had a very delicious odor. I tried to hold my breath and make the change and receipt the bill as quick as I could. Oh, boy, it was something. So I didn't figure Mary Margaret's audience would appreciate that too much.
No, and that...
I thought maybe you heard it on Mary Margaret's audience. I never liked to talk about money on a party line, you know.
Sure.
So
Of course.
this woman called up, and she's up in Atwood, and she called up and called my wife and wanted to know how much her bill was. And she ran a bill about pay once a month, you know, like that. And she called up and Beth said, well, the bill's not ready, but she said, I'll make it up and call you back. So she made up the bill.
Now, you just hold the line for a second. So you hang that up in a minute.
She made up the bill and she called her up and she